Hello my friends, today we're talking about a seagull, not the annoying bird you get at the seaside, but a watch company from China, lots of heritage. They do a real variety of watches ranging from many hundreds of pounds down to this more affordable bracket. This watch is about 140, 150 pounds. So what are you getting for your money? Does this watch offer enough for you to add it to your collection? What's unique and interesting about it? Let's get on with having a closer look, shall we? Are you ready for the Seagull stats and specs? Thank you, Movie Trailer Guide. Now, this is the Seagull, the Polaris Natural Series, the sand dial, and I went for the beige sand colour because I think sand should be the colour of sand and not one of the other weird colours they do, like a ruby red or a Tiffany blue. I just don't think that's going to work quite as well as sandy coloured sand dial. Price-wise, I've seen these for about 140 to 150 pounds, and the movement inside is a Seagull movement as well, which is great, in-house movement, very nice. And the thing about the ST17 is you have a small sub-dial here as your ticking seconds hand, very nice. 50 metres water resistance with a push-pull signed crown. The lume in here is green, I'll show you that a little bit later on, and it has sapphire with a clear AR coating. Bracelet is a full multi-link affair with push pins for sizing and a lovely brushed butterfly clasp. Case back is screwed down. You have a lovely exhibition of that Seagull movement with the Geneva stripes on the movement and the rotor is signed as well, very nice indeed. I've had this on the time graph, it's running nicely indeed, about plus 4 seconds a day. Sizing wise, it's a 40mm case size, only about 46 long, not affected by the end links because they're female and they drape immediately inwards. 20mm lug width for strap changes. I'm going to show you on another lovely strap a bit later, and it's only 10mm thick. Are you ready for Dan's nitpicks about this Seagull watch? Now I'm going to be really picky about this watch because I really like it, and that makes it fairer. A lot of these things are just opinions, of course, so I'm going to start with my first opinion, and that is the size. I think it's a little bit too big. A dressier looking watch should be about 38mm, in my opinion, for most wrist sizes. This is 40, which is fine, but because of that very large dial, it actually wears and looks bigger than it is. But that's helped reduce down again in size on your wrist by the only 10mm height, so it wears really nicely. But the point is, I think it would have been even better at only 38mm. Next criticism is the usual thing. I don't like the name Seagull. Why would you want to wear a watch named after an annoying seabird? I know there is some history behind it, but in my opinion, Seagull just sounds annoying. Next criticism, lume strength. I'm going to show you, it's been charging a bit under the light. Looks quite crisp now, but it's definitely made look a little bit better under the camera, but it doesn't last forever. It's not bad, don't get me wrong, it's not one of these ones that lasts 5 minutes and then it's completely gone. I would say it's not as good as I would like for this kind of money, but considering the style of watch and how thin the hands and the indices are, we can get away with it really. I'm lucky this fits me very well, but for other people, not having any half links as part of the sizing of this watch, and there's no obviously micro adjust or stretch element built into this clasp, you may or may not have a good fitment. But like I said, I have a 7¼ inch wrist, about 185mm. Fits me like a dream, never feels uncomfortable, but do bear that in mind. Colour wise, I think this is the best colour because it looks like sand and I love this fume effect. But if you're going to have one of the other ones, the sand texture doesn't quite work with the colour. I'm thinking, why would you have ruby red sand? The other colours you could get, just have something a bit more fun. Maybe the turquoise blue or Tiffany blue is going to work well for as a holiday watch because it looks like the sand through gorgeous turquoise waters in the Mediterranean. Now, some people are concerned about the movement Seagull offer here. I know that they offer this movement in a vast array of watches. I've had different experience with this movement. I've had it in some watches in the past where it doesn't feel smooth with the winding. It feels gritty and a bit stiff and not very smooth. And I've had it, the rotor rattles and screeches around in there and it feels cheap. This, like the other ones I felt in the Revolot Terror I reviewed recently, it feels buttery smooth, it's running very well, it feels very refined. Don't know about the reliability, but I would say, considering how long Seagull have been around and making movements, initially I think you can't go wrong. Lastly, I think just as if I was to be really fussy, I wouldn't mind a better taper on this bracelet. It's very straight, and I think to have a little bit more elegance to its design and wearability, dropping a couple more mil down at this clasp level would have really helped it a little bit more. Are you ready for Dan's positives about this Seagull watch? Thank you, Movie Trailer Guy. There are obviously positives because I do really like this watch. The main thing I like about it is the styling. I think it's a nice, simple case design, nice blend of brushed and polished finishes on there. Very smoothly done, by the way. The finishing on this is excellent for the price. But the thing that really stands out is that gorgeous big dial with the fume effect here, which means it goes from dark to light in the middle. Finishing of this dial is lovely, sandy texture waves, and the lovely almost compass-like subdial here, really complementing this travel feel, if you will. The Seagull logo is a little bit too big in my opinion, could have been a bit smaller, but it's stamped in there, and the indices which blend in nicely. The good thing is with them being in the darker element of this Fume dial is they contrast nicely. It's a really playful and interesting look, and it's nice to have at this price point something that looks so interesting, and it's not just an homage. I do like this movement. I think it feels nice to hand wind, and it's really pretty to look at through this case back. I love these little details on the rotor here with the Geneva stripes. Same on the movement. It's just that extra effort and machining's gone into it, and it does look like a well-made watch. A real positive for me is how comfortable and light this watch is to wear. Fits nicely, and the watch is so slim. As you see, it just snugly sits on the wrist. Another real positive is the spec you get for the money. I just think to have a nice operating movement, decent enough lume and a reliable movement that looks good, and a really nicely made bracelet. There's no play in it. It's a real plus to have something you can wear and proudly say is a Chinese watch. It feels like it's something with some heritage, and that's another positive. It's nice to get something from a brand with some story behind, and they've been making watches for a very long time. And last but not least, I just wanted to show you on this different strap. I got this from Vario, German leather, handmade. Look how well it works with that sand dial. If you just don't want to wear it with a bracelet, want to mix it up a bit, this just shows you how versatile this colorway can be. Lovely polished hardware to go with the polished elements of the watch. Really nice buffalo grain texture on the leather, really soft. No break-in period required at all. Absolutely gorgeous. So if you've made it to this part of the video, thank you so much. I'll just ask one more thing from you, and that is to hit the old subscribe button. If you've enjoyed the video, obviously like it and comment. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this watch. And if you've enjoyed the channel and want to watch more videos, there should be some popping up here. Crack on. Hopefully you'll enjoy some more. In the meantime, thanks again for watching today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.